announcement be done by the chairperson of the steering committee, Director Yobo, then we can adjourn. But without ado, and with the time already consumed, we will call on for an overview. We'll call Director Yobo, who is the chairperson. Director Yobo. You want me to bring the mic to you?
Let me try. Let me see what I mic off.
The stages. Yeah, right? One of the chiefs said that. One of the chiefs said that. Come.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to welcome you all to, this is very loud, to the head office of the Civil Service Agency. We thank you for accepting our invitation to this press conference. So, Liberia is going to host a major regional conference. And this conference is going to bring together 5 other countries. That's Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and host country Liberia. So the Director General, Dr. Chokai, has been in conversation with a health development institution based in Kigali, Rwanda. So that back and forth conversation has led us to this very moment, wherein we'll be hosting the first ever regional conference on human health workforce development. So set to be held in February, actually much earlier than that. But because we have some housekeeping to do, and it was the first, it's the first of this kind, so we had to give good enough time to ensure that we got it right on the first attempt. So that is why we chose to do it in March. So beginning tomorrow, the conference will kick off with the panel of experts deliberating in their committee room, their technical committee room. And then thereafter, on Thursday, that's when the official conference will convene, wherein the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, will grace the occasion and deliver the keynote address. Now, the Director General gave you a much higher level update as to where we are, the formalities that are currently ongoing to ensure that the conference is a success. But what I can tell you is that in his wisdom, he appointed a committee, and I was blessed, lucky, for the lack of better word, to be selected among my equally qualified colleagues to chair this committee, and I'm very grateful for the level of cooperation I've received from them so far. We, as a team, are doing incredibly well, and whatever outcome we get will be a collective effort. So I want to thank my committee members. So when the DG, the Director General, set up the committee, he said, well, this is something we're doing for the first time, so CSA alone cannot do this. We have to ensure that we work with our interministerial colleagues so that whichever aspect of the program that requires their intervention, they can seamlessly fit in. So it's from that backdrop that several other entities, 6 to be precise, were asked to join this interministerial steering committee. And we're happy to announce that we have representations here today who will be speaking, telling you exactly what roles they've played or they are playing to ensure the success of this conference. So I may come back again if you have specific questions, but the committee is working as I speak to you right now. Several of our committee members are working. For example, the Cuban folks are setting up. The conference venue has been set up, the ballroom, the banquet hall, the meeting rooms have been set up. Delegates have been picked up from the airport. So a lot of things are happening as we're sitting right here. So we're hoping that the Q&A, we can keep it as short as possible, but the DG has said that he wants to meet the first batch of delegates today because we're going to have most of them coming in this afternoon, early evening. So the committee is working, and Mr. Director General, I want to thank you for the opportunity for me to serve with your guidance. I'll be honest, this is my first rodeo having somebody just speak trusted upon me, and I hope they feel my colleagues, and I'm thankful that they have been very cooperative, and the outcome of this conference will demonstrate exactly how supportive they have been of this endeavor. So I want to thank you all for coming again. I will now turn over to the moderator who will continue this press briefing. Thank you.
That was the voice of the chairperson of the steering committee, Director Mola Yoba, who gave us some overview on the consider. And much highlights will be done by the Director General himself. So any moment from now, we will turn the mic over to press. Please welcome the Honorable Director General of the Civil Service Agency, Dr. Josiah F. Jukaya Jr.
Thank you, Joe. Good afternoon, everybody. Distinguished guests, members of the press, our esteemed colleagues. It is my great honor this afternoon to welcome all of you to the Civil Service Agency, a familiar place, and specifically our conference room, where we are holding this crucial press conference to update the public on preparations made so far in support of holding the first major regional conference on human health workforce development in our country. Liberia is hosting this historic conference that brings together Burkina Faso, Central African Republic, La Côte d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. These countries will join Liberia, making it a total of 6, to hold what we call the first ever regional public service leadership conference on human health workforce development. The conference will take place from March 4 to 7 at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex here in Congo Town. It will afford us the opportunity, the 6 countries, to engage in critical discussions aimed at strengthening public service institutions and advancing the human health workforce in our nations. This conference is a crucial step toward building resilience and strengthening innovative institutions for sustainable development. This conference is held under the theme, Advancing Human Health Workforce Through Public Service Excellence, Building Resilient and Innovative Institutions for Sustainable Development. This conference, as I indicated earlier, will create a platform for us collectively to address key challenges affecting public administration, and healthcare governance. So from March 4th to the 5th, a panel of public service and health experts will meet to deliberate and draft for the first time in Africa a regional public service leadership framework that will guide workforce development efforts across not only the 6 nations, we are the convener as the 6 nations, but for Africa. Then on March 7th and 6th and 7th, health ministers and public service leaders from participating countries will review, validate, and officially adopt the draft framework. This structured approach ensures that our discussions lead to concrete, actionable outcomes that will shape and health policies in the region. Public service institutions, this is a giving. Public service institutions across West and Central Africa mainly face similar challenges. And some of these challenges include limited resources, outdated infrastructure, and governance inefficiencies. These factors hinder our ability to provide high quality services to our people. However, this conference presents a unique opportunity to exchange best practices, develop innovative solutions, and strengthen cross-border collaboration to address these challenges effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the conference, our discussions will align with international governance principles, drawing insights specifically from institutions such as the International Civil Service Commission, the RCSC, and the Health Development Partnership for Africa and the Caribbean, HEDPAC, which is a soft partnership initiative that will play a key role in convening this conference. What do I mean by that? HEDPAC is the sponsor of this conference. We are working with them. We are the implementer, not the sponsorship, the Civil Service Agency on behalf of the government of Liberia. So HEDPAC is providing support to this conference. And I just want to backtrack a little bit to say that this is the kind of innovative and creative approach that we should be adopting at this point in time when we are having serious resource constraints as a government, a country, and across Africa. It's not just unique to Liberia. Part of that is the impact of the USAID freeze or pullout. And I think such soft partnership, I mean the one with HEDPAC right now, is an approach that we need to adopt. Looking inside Africa, Africa to Africa kind of collaboration and partnership will help us to address most of our problems, address some of our challenges with respect to resource constraints, respect to strengthening our institutions, bringing about efficiency in the delivery of our services. So the Civil Service Agency is taking one such approach, and I think that's leadership. So the key focus areas of the conference include data-driven policy making. That's one of the focus areas. And we will have the opportunity to bring them here to see our new testing center, which will be going live very soon. When we say data-driven policy making, that's one major aspect of it. How we've automated our system, and we rely on data that we collected through our employee status regularization project that we did. And we realize an aging workforce. So as many of the older folks are leaving the workforce, we have to set the stage for professional young people to come in and take over. That's something that our colleagues could learn from us as well. There's a lot for us to learn from them. So we don't have to look to UN agencies, international organizations to do some of these things to bridge the gaps. There are other things that we can look up to them for, we can work along with them for. But some of the low-hanging fruits, such as this one, just require us being bold and direct and taking the right steps to address these issues as nations. So when we come together, it's a platform for learning. Another aspect or area of focus of the conference will be merit-based recruitment and workforce blending. I just talked about it and I gave a classic example of how we can leverage that. And we can also learn from them because they will also be letting us know what are some of the things they are doing in those areas in their countries. Efficient service delivery models. So we have to talk to them about some of the things we're doing to automate our recruitment process, our performance management system. And I'm sure some of them will want to also let us know what they're doing in those areas. So cross-cutting issues that we can learn from and help to strengthen our institutions. So strengthening institutional resilience, that Ghana, I went to Cote d'Ivoire and other places, and I was able to engage with public service institutions, the Fair Wage, Commission, Salaries Commission of Ghana, the Public Service Commission of Ghana, the Civil Service Commission of Ghana, the Ministry of Public Administration of Cote d'Ivoire, and I ran with the idea that there is a need for us to establish a regional framework that will bring all of us together to establish a platform where we are able to do experience sharing, where we are able to pool resources and help each other technically to build our institutions' efficiency and bring about productivity. And this was but the fact that these countries are coming here for this historic conference tells you that the CSA initiative of paging the whole idea about regional framework is working. And this is a good beginning. So as part of the conference proceedings, the Civil Service Agency of Liberia, the Ministry of Health of Liberia, and HEDPAC will officially sign a memorandum of understanding to formalize their partnership. And holding this conference is part of that partnership. We initially had the electronic signature, but this time we're going to do it formally. And on behalf of Liberia, I will be signing. The Minister of Health will also be signing. This agreement will enhance collaboration and reinforce commitments to sustainable workforce development and public service reforms. So the support to this conference is just the beginning of HEPAC's support to public service reform with emphasis on human health workforce development. There's a lot that we have to do to cater to the workforce, the health workforce of this country, human health workforce of this country. We have to make sure that conditions are improved. We have to make sure that the right people, in terms of those having the profession and cultural faith, to occupy those critical positions in the healthcare sector. We have to make sure that they're motivated. We have to make sure that they're satisfied to be able to provide the kind of services they provide to our nation. Our nation's recovery and development strongly depend on the people, the quality and caliber of healthcare workers that we have in our country. And this is why the CSA is prioritizing that, and the CSA is strategically partnering with the Ministry of Health to make sure that we place specific focus on developing and improving the well-being and professionalism of healthcare workers in our country. So I have to let you know that there are several benefits to this initiative. I've talked a lot about the domestic aspect of it, but I also want to let you know that the initiative will contribute directly to the African Union's 2063 agenda and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by promoting regional integration, inclusive governance, and sustainable access to essential services. So what we're doing is not in isolation. We are also doing it to support regional and international integration initiative that have been undertaken years back, but then with a goal to achieve this in years to come. So Liberia is well on course. We're making sure that our human resource workforce development efforts are also integrated or support strongly regional and international approaches. So this conference is not just about having discussions or a fanfare. It's about taking action. So we are seizing the moment to collectively foster strong partnerships, to embrace innovation, and to commit to meaningful reforms. The outcomes of our engagement will not only strengthen governance structures, but will also improve the quality of life for the people we serve in our nations. In other words, the 5 countries are coming here to Liberia for serious business. They are coming to join us so that we can collectively reason together. We can establish a framework that will bring on board the other African countries, and we can broaden this regional initiative so that nations of Africa can begin to look to each other for support in areas that others have strength, and where there are weaknesses, others with strengths in those areas can bridge those gaps. And that we don't have to all the time sit and wait for traditional allies to come and support us, because here in Africa, we have the resources. We just need to be strategic, both the human resources, the material resources. We have them to strengthen and improve our institutions, but someone has to take the leadership. And I will tell you that as a Liberian and head of the Civil Service Agency, I am very pleased that Liberia has taken the bold step to lead this initiative. And tomorrow is going to be referenced historically that this initiative was initiated by Liberia. And it's something that's going to become a continental institution that countries of Africa and the people, especially so of Africa, can benefit from. I'm looking forward to an insightful discussion over the next 4 days. I'm sure we can evolve impactful strategies that we all can develop and adapt together. And I want to take this time. I know our colleagues now, many of them are flying. This afternoon, we'll be receiving Temeskin from HEDPAC. He's one of the representatives from HEDPAC. The executive officer, Dr. Jesus Jetahom, will be here on the 5th, that is. He will be attending the grand opening that will be graced by His Excellency the President, Joseph Yumapwaka Sr. And not only that, he will be addressing them through the keynote address. The President will be talking about all of these things that are lined up and the commitment of our government to making sure that they happen. And you and I will be welcoming all of our guests to our beautiful city, Monrovia. Monrovia is changing. When you look around, you see the infrastructure and you see the array of entertainment places. Some of them now you can match with those in other areas, meeting internationals. I'm sure they're going to enjoy Monrovia when they're here. So I would like us to work together to build a stronger, more resilient and innovative public service sector in Liberia, but most of all, across Africa. And that's the main goal of the conference that is beginning tomorrow. Before I invite our colleagues here from different government institutions that are members of the interministerial committee, like the chairman of the steering committee indicated, I just want to take a special moment to say thanks to the employees of the Civil Service Agency. These are wonderful people. These are great people. And we have some of the best in the government. Everything happening in terms of reform and strengthening the resilience of our civil service is happening because of the individuals in the employ of the CSA who work tirelessly. Sleepless nights they have. Sometimes we are here up to 8:30, 9 p.m. And depending on the magnitude of the work we have to do, we are here up to 10 p.m. The successes we're achieving that you're seeing out there are not happening by mistake or by accident. Is deliberate on our part collectively in the CSA. This is a moment I like to seize to congratulate all of you. My deputies are awesome. The senior management, amazing team. The entire workforce at CSA, extraordinary, great people. I want to say thank you. And this is the moment. The first time Liberia is hosting this. But it is also the first time across Africa. So you need to know that. And know that whatever efforts you've made over the last few weeks, you have to redouble those efforts so that the conference can be successful. If everybody waits for the job to be done, the job is not going to be done. When you think that papers are to be compiled, compile them. Don't wait for everybody. When you think that you need to move the pens, move the pens. When you think that you're supposed to direct people to their rightful seats, don't wait for the head of hospitality to do that, or the protocols to do that. Talk to the protocol officers, do it. When you know that you're supposed to escort somebody somewhere, maybe to the washroom or in the corridors, in the breakout rooms, just make sure you do it diligently. Do it. You are doing it not for yourself. You are doing it not for CSA. You are doing it for the government and the people of this great country. Whatever you have to do to make this conference a success, do it. As the chairman said, there are many of the committee members who are out right now. Some have left for the airport to go to receive the first set of guests. Later on, I myself will be going to the airport to receive the last batch coming for today. Is going to be a little later. I have to be there because these people have called us all of these courtesies when we go to their countries. So we want to make sure that it's reciprocated. But I want to thank everybody, and at this time, I will take turn, going to entity, from entity to entity, so that they can tell. First, we'll begin with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I know Great is here. Do we have the other microphone? Yes, sir. Can we take the microphone to Great? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That's the brief statement, but we'll now start talking. We'll now start hearing from members of the Interministerial Committee in terms of where we are, what preparations have been made.
Across the government, ministries, agencies, and commissions. For important service leadership and human health, workforce development content. The conference
It was big though. It was big though.
The implication of psychological security. I would like to extend thanks to the Director General of Civil Service Agency, Honorable Dr. Desire Evajoka, for taking my $90,000 in initiating this event. The ministry has served as a conduit between the government of Liberia and our different international and regional partners to continue to foster international cooperation due to the pivotal role it has played in mobilizing this conference thus far. The ministry, through the office of the Chief of Protocol of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Anthony Angolo, represents our commitment in providing the requisite protocol officers in an effort to ensure perfect decorum for this conference. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to add that specifically the Minister of Foreign Affairs work with us very closely in sending out all the invitations. We have the government formality, the invitations that are sent as those were about, and all those were about were first. And we're getting jittery when we're not getting responses from the countries. And then we create an effort, also follow up with the embassies here with additional note protocols. And for the third time, the ministry had to issue the third set of those reverts as reminders and asking them to treat their participation in the conference as a matter of urgency. And the minister also took to the phones and called and made sure that those countries confirm their delegations. So we want to say thank you so much for your representation on the interministerial committee. It's been very helpful to this point. We just learned that one of the guests just arrived from back, so they're picking them up. I think that's good news. We want to go to the Liberian airport, Liberia Airport Authority. Our colleagues there to give us updates.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. DG and members of the steering committee, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from the Managing Director, the management team, and the entire workforce of the Liberia Airport Authority. Extremely grateful for the recognition to form part of this historic event that is geared towards hosting policy experts and government officials from 5 countries to formulate appropriate policies that promote human health and workforce development in our respective public sectors. Hosting this event brings pride to us as a country and people. As an entity of government responsible for air transportation, the Liberia Airport Authority has put in place the necessary mechanism to ensure that guests are received from the 5 countries at the Rabat International Airport. The LAA wants to assure the CSA that it remains committed to supporting this cause to the very end. Thank you so much, and we look forward to a successful conference.
Thank you so much. You heard from yourself already, from the process part that they put in place all the mechanisms already. They put in place all the mechanisms already to make sure that our guests are well received. And everything is excellent. We're very grateful. Thank you so much. Chairman, I thought you wanted the microphone. You want me to say something?
Yeah, I want to do something.
Yeah, you already said it, excellent and great. Very instrumental. Excellent is not going to get so I will ask her for her questions to cover. And she was really
she got sick at the start of the event itself. But I will speak to, I'm not sure is GSA here. I'm not sure GSA is here. Our Deputy Director General for Administration is not here because he's currently at GSA. He's working with them to deal with logistical issues. GSA has been very instrumental. The conference is going to be held right here in the complex, in the ballroom. That's the official conference hall. We also have access to the breakout rooms. 2 of them are all set up already. The conference hall is set up. And from here, if you guys want to go and see the conference hall, we can just go in there. You guys see the way the setup is for the conference. That starts tomorrow. The private rooms also upstairs. And my understanding is that the banquet hall is being set up all for new purposes, everything. And all of this is happening because of the collaboration between the CSA and the GSA. So a lot is being done to make sure that we receive, all the courtesies and the logistics needed for the conference. That's the GSA component. It's all of them walking before the conference is over. We just let them speak to that a little bit. Mr. Chairman, do we have the police? And it's simple. You can talk about that.
Yeah, they are not here because they are coordinating pickups from the airport. As I speak to you, have one escort car already parked downstairs, which will escort you to the airport. And then while you pick up your counterpart. So today we're going to have one head of dedication who is coming much earlier. So I hope he's going to have the whole 9 yards. And the conference here, he's coming from Burkina Faso. He's the head of the Public Service Commission here in Burkina Faso. So he's going to be here. Yeah.
You also want to mention that Honorable Calon is now going to become the Minister of State. He really looked forward to this conference. He was really excited and motivated.
Yes, actually, he was one of the first to confirm his participation. One of the first, Sierra Leone was one of the first delegations that confirmed all of the delegates. In fact, at some point, we were torn between who to get in first. You know, so at the last meeting, I was informed by the embassy today that he won't be here because the president is out of the country. President Malawi is out of the country, and he can be out as well. Mr. State can be out, so that's why he declined. But as I'm speaking now, we're trying to see if we can have the chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Khalidu Umar Bar, to come in and say, yeah, so we're working on that. Hopefully before the end of this press conference, we'll have more information to share. But Sierra Leone is properly represented at the highest level, same as Burkina Faso, same as Cote d'Ivoire. So, yeah.
Great, good to know that. We'll have to give you all of the pieces so you know exactly who's coming. But we have a huge delegation from Sierra Leone. I must say that Sierra Leone is going to have the highest.
Yes, we're going to have the Deputy Head Minister, Dr. Vladimir Senesi. Yes, going to be there too. Abdullah is here.
So yes, we have a huge delegation. So LIS, do we have the LIS people here? LIS, we now go to LIS. Look, LIS did something, and I told Edwin that I thought it was a joke. The moment the first listing came up of people who needed visas, and then I said, okay, I hear you. In about 2-3 hours, Edwin said, for the visas are being issued. I said, no, you're joking. That's not possible. So it's better for us to hear from LIS. They've been very supportive as well.
Thank you very much. And good evening. From the Office of the Acting Commissioner General of the LIS, Honorable Dr. F. We want to take this time to bring you greetings from the Office of the Acting Commissioner General for the level of work that we have all put in to reach this far. We want to say that this collaborative effort has been one that we have all been yearning for, and I think it has been well. And just as the DG mentioned, and it is all because of the effort and the collaboration that got those work going on as they went on, and as he said, we want to say that we hope that what we have to do, we have done it, and any other update as to the obligation and the service that LIS has to render to make this initiative achievable one. We are open to it. He wants you to know that anytime he's ready and his offices are open for his service to make this conference a successful one. This is indeed a national initiative, and the LIS is very proud and excited to be part of it. Thank you very much, and we hope to see a successful conference. Once more, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so kindly. That's highly appreciated. I know we talked about the LSP earlier, Moba shed some light, but let me just tell you that LLP is in 100%. They're providing the escort vehicles, and they're also providing full security for the entire conference. LLP has been represented at all the meetings at the highest level, the interministerial meetings at the highest level. They've been represented, and they've committed, and that's exemplified by the fact that we already have the escort vehicle downstairs, and we have police. We'll be going for the first batch of people. When we leave this conference in a moment, from now we'll be headed to the airport to receive the first batch.
But I'm not sure I'm leaving any other group. I think we talked about this, have spoken, and the foreign affairs, Liberia National Police, will talk about that, the airport, or Ministry of Health. Ministry of Health. Right now, Chris should be getting ready, right, for tomorrow. So Chris, who is representing the Ministry of Health, will be setting the stage for the breakout sessions tomorrow, because the breakout sessions will be those sessions that will determine the contents of the framework, the regional framework. So she has a major task. So we're looking forward to receiving specialists, experts from the Ministry of Health, Liberia, who will be there tomorrow. But the biggest news is that the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Otto, is going to be addressing the panel of experts tomorrow. She is the keynote speaker. Just to tell you how serious the civil service agency and the government is when it comes to human health workforce development. This is a collaborative effort. It is now one entity sitting in one corner and trying to do stuff. No, we are working together as a team in the interest of our country and, of course, the region. So at this point, Joe, I'd like to turn it over to you, and you can take it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Director General. Just listening, I think we'll reach a stage where we'll be asking those questions. We will want to entertain not more than 10 very brief questions. Okay, 5, what did you just say? Professional colleagues, let me just remind you that indeed you are privileged to have a media-friendly Director General who sees us as media practitioners to be partners in progress. It is at all times, at every time, he speaks so highly about you. So, because you are so critical in bringing the public up to speed on what we do here. But what we do here is all about progress and getting Liberia there. So thank you ever so much for always coming in the midst of challenges. So we will take, just call your name, your institution, then just a question. Very brief, please. So let me, on the father, recognize you.
Yeah, my name is Edwin Chinoe. I work for Page Africa. DG, I'm concerned about how will the conference help strengthen public service capacity in participating countries? That's the first concern I have.
That's the question you have. All right. I will address that. It's simple. So we said we are coming together to establish a platform, a regional platform that we can learn from each other. We can share experiences. We can pool resources. And I gave you a classic example, HEPCA, the Health Development Partnership for Africa and the Caribbean. As a continental institution, it's international, but we're proud to have it as an African institution that is providing support to this conference. This is not a UNDP, a USAID, or World Bank supported initiative. This is Africa to Africa. And that's the kind of thing we're talking about. We want to enhance that, bringing African countries together to begin to discuss, to talk in a framework of supporting each other. We'll be able to identify challenges, gaps, and we will be able to bridge the institutions that can help to bridge those gaps, bringing Africa from other countries. We'll identify them, and we'll be able to step in. And so it's going to be great. It's a way of supporting each other, strengthening our efforts. And our respective public service institutions and healthcare institutions will immensely benefit from that, because the role of the CSA on workforce enhancement, workforce improvement, and ensuring productivity, that will be the focus. And I talk about the thematic areas that the conference will focus on, data-driven policy making. Every country will benefit from that, because it's going to be a regional work that we all will have access to. Merit-based recruitment and workforce planning. Employees in the various institutions, public service institutions, healthcare institutions in member states will definitely benefit from efficient service delivery models, different models, how we do our recruitment, how we do our performance management. All of those things, people will benefit from those models. Strengthening institutional resilience, how we will not allow our institution to wear out, to break down, how we'll continuously innovate and be creative
in deriving strategies that will build and strengthen our institutions. So basically, that's what it's about. Thank you. So we will just plan the next one. The cost of the conference is $6,000, and it's far less. Initially, we budgeted around $60,000, and we had a working section with headback supporting, and we drew down to $50,000. $50,000 is covering everything, airfare for all of the people, the tickets, the hotels, the meals, and everything. In fact, we were so innovative because we were going to use hotel, we were going to be paying exorbitantly for the conference center. So as a government, we decided to move it from a hotel to our own place. You know, that's how we're able to cut down costs drastically towards this. So it's going to be $50,000. We're not sharing costs. Headbank is covering that. And all of the procurement processes are going through our PPCC process, every aspect of it. In fact, there was no approvals until procurement processes were all approved. One of the reasons why we had to move the conference from February to move it to March, to make sure that we satisfy all established procedures and processes. But the share is, the cost is not shared with those institutions. Those institutions are not paying. We are responsible for their hotel accommodations. We are responsible. Are we responsible for incidental? Yes. They are receiving incidental when they arrive. So everything is part of the cost. They are not paying anything. Like is covering, is shouldering through the support of headback.
Well, folks, that's the director for CSA. My name is Wilfred Dorsey, and I report.
Just for the don't know who is following the podcast and listening to the BBC,
You meant the DG?
the DG.